Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Welcome to more A Link to the Past Randomizer Survivors of Hyrule tournament. We've got WallKicks and Homemade Beer in an all dungeons key sanity race. And I'm going to hand it off to our commentators, Mandiam and Toffile. Take it away, too.
Hey, Toff, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
Doing pretty well. Looking forward to the 80 Keys match. This is Game 3 in the... Well, it's best of 7, but the Survivor rules make it a little more interesting than a standard old-fashioned best of 7 series might indicate. Wally and Homemade Beer are going to face off. Already played, Zelda defeated Mr. Ed 3. I myself, Mandiam... What?
I was just gonna say, we don't have to talk about that other match. I mean, you beat... Yes.
Past this prologue, maybe. We've got a team tied up 1-1 going into this one. The Ed's already out. Mags is out on the other side. So the survivor rule means whoever wins gets to stay in. Whoever loses is out for the round. So one of these runners is going to be done for this set after tonight.
And I actually should say, if anybody hasn't actually watched the VOD of the race yesterday with me and Dio, I would highly recommend it. It is a very good race that you came out on top of, but don't worry, it's still pretty exciting all in all. So yeah, 80 keys.
All dungeons key sanity, do every dungeon, all the keys are shuffled into the general pool. You're not necessarily going to find the castle key in the castle, the pod keys in pod, although pod has a tendency to hang on to one or two of its own keys just because there are so stinking many of them.
Yeah, I personally am in favor of the Turtle Rock Big Key and Turtle Rock, but...
yeah, that's classic.
Ooh, Tier 1 is Red Rupees. We're not going to be hurting for money today. That would be nice from another mode, maybe like Retrons, but, you know.
Yeah, still gonna make it easy to pay off the bottle vendor, maybe buy a few bombs if you happen to need to in the early going.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, literally just Red Rupees. So, probably go check, Lost Woods, go into CAC. Hope you have bombs, and if not, right. Oh, well,
yeah, Beer says no to all of that. He's just going to go buy some bombs, and he's going to do something else, because that's the way he likes to roll in the early game of open seeds.
Yeah, I guess he's going to go over to Saha, check Eastern, and... Oh, no! Well...
Oh, yeah!
Well, that's needed.
That's a 100% required Cane of Samaria behind Dark World Access, Flippers, and the Mirror.
Or, if you have it, the Mirror and Boots. But, you know.
Yeah, you could theoretically water walk to it. That's not an inaccuracy. I guess you could also bunny surf to it, theoretically, under certain conditions.
Yeah.
Although, when you start talking about all dungeons, you're going to need to find things like the Flippers anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about obscure glitches.
Look, I like doing the Skullwoods water walk and nothing will stop me. While you haven't killed anything yet, it's still just a... random compass on ledge, and our green pendant is swamp. Well, that's great. Our first
so what you're telling me is the Mirror and the Flippers could theoretically be in GG.
And
pending what Ice Palace is, of course.
Big key to swamp is in... No, our actual small key to swamp is in Saha, so... Not going to be hunting for that today, so...
Okay, Saha, we get it.
Look, I'm sure he's probably got a sword because he stole it from Swamp for the small key. Yeah, while you're running a little low on money, going to go buy bombs down at the south of CAC and then go back up. Beer saying fuck it and just going straight into Eastern Palace. I don't really blame him with this, you know. This is 4 easy checks. Well, 3 easy checks and a not too bad one at this stage, but easier with the sword or land. Oh, good. You gotta hear a small key. Guess it's nice to get that early.
I feel like I've gotten spoiled with too much multi lately. Wally can't just ask the bottle vendor what he has and decide whether or not it's worth 100 rupees. Has to farm up the 100 rupees and then take the hit and find out.
Yeah, alright. Nice small.
And one of those is always nice. Ooh, hello, the hammer.
Ooh, and the hook shot for Wally.
A hook shot may be a little more convenient, if anything.
Yeah. So we get to do little random foils like that. Alright. Well. Ooh, the flute. That's really nice.
Yeah, and
No,
he's
this
out of
is-
Eastern Palace and probably heading off. Wally with the cape there, too.
Yeah. So. Yeah, Wally's got... It's gonna be a little while before Wally gets that hammer, I think. Who has the better execution between these two runners? To be honest, both Wally and Beer are very good high execution runners. Wally tends to shine a bit more, I think, in a lot of people's minds in like entrance rando with cross keys. So much so that I think the opposing team might have struck cross keys from this round of the tournament as a result.
Well, there was WallKicks, and then there was also Zelda's son. Between the two, with two entrance modes on the table, we knew we were going to hit at least one. Choosing to have the potential to hit both was just, no, not so much.
Yeah.
We're crazy. We're not that crazy.
Yeah, and of course Zelda immediately won round one in entrance rando, so it's not exactly like this was unforeseen. Piece of heart of the library. So, should get at our powder, which means that's one more check Beer will do, but,
That never has anything.
Ooh!
Race game does, though.
Well, it's not a land bomb today. It's kind of sitting around there.
Yeah, it's first fire. You're not exactly going to turn that down. Maybe if you had the fire rod already, you'd say, nah, I don't really want to expend the time knowing who my opponent is, but the fire rod could just be behind this somewhere.
Yeah, this will actually be interesting because we actually did pull the hero small in CAC, and Beer will have the hammer after getting the hook shot on the flute, which means Wally's probably going to go rescue the old man. Oh no, okay, damn, fine. But I have to imagine that Wally is going to not do Hera this trip up the mountain because he just can't get there unless the mirror pops up soon. And Beer will be able to get over there. Unfortunately, this is going to be the long way, and it'll be the long way around to get to Hera too. It'll be interesting to see if anything shows up in that chest, because that could be a minute that Wally's going to have to spend at Beer won't.
Yeah, meanwhile, the seed is really throwing out the pod bits and pieces early. We're up, I think, 2 small keys along with the big key now on Wally's side.
One nice small, nice to have for routing. We know where Samari is, so it's... They don't really care where the other one is, because we'll have access to... probably have access to it before then. Your map. Ooh, okay.
So, more hints to Ice Palace, and yes, you guessed it, more hints to Ice Palace.
Yeah. Kind of surprised he's skipping Ice Rod Cave, but on the other hand, this is a pretty good item set early on. Yes, the Red Cane of Samaria is on Lake Island Island. And put it back in. Nobody wants to see that. Ooh.
Nice little convenience item there. You need a couple of them to beat the game, but having one is a very nice early safety.
Yep. And we just got some arrows up on Spec Rock. Ooh. Do you go for the money? I think you have to go for the money at this point.
Choices. Wally says no. You know where it is, I guess. If you wind up with another couple of 100 rupees from somewhere, you know where it is, and you can go fetch it. But
yeah, I guess also with the tree pull being red, tier 1 being red rupees, like you can probably, if you know where the tree pull locations are, you can probably engineer that money. And just a compass for Skullwoods. Oh no. We have a sword, a lamp, and a castle tower, small key. Oh, and the cape.
And the cape. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe one of those seeds. Despite it being...
Or maybe you're just supposed to go up to Castle Tower Chest 2 and pick up some progression item and come back later.
Yeah. Wally. There's our other ice small. Neither did escape because they did not have a weapon of any form when they got to... they checked on Cole, and they could not turn up any bombs or any sort of weapon, so they skipped escape. I have to imagine escape's pretty high of Wally's mind right now. And Uncle Bombs are on the island. But I'd have to assume that that it's high on his mind just because we've got 2 checks in Agatower and Logic right now. This isn't this is actual AD key sanity. This isn't FAAD keys. For those wondering, I did double check the rules document. So Castle Tower Smalls, as evidenced, are wild. They're not kept in Agatower. So. So while he's realistically looking at like 4 logical items over in the castle versus 5 over in the eastern area right now. So while you skipped the island scout. That's interesting.
I do wonder if Beer's going to give us Ice Rod Cave here.
Would you steal a card to do the back of escape? I wouldn't in this mode. Okay, so Wall's going to be getting his hammer going into Eastern. And like somebody else that uses a Phoenix Red Sprite. But I don't think in 80 keys I would really like to steal the Hyrule Castle small key just to do the back of escape. I'd be more in favor of that in cross keys, where with entrance rando it can be a lot harder to get to the back of escape. You're going to get a glove here sooner or later, and you're going to have to kill Aga anyway for the mode. So if you're forced into killing Aga, it's not really a big deal.
Pearl may be a bit of an interesting question here. Wouldn't entirely surprise me to see it pop up in Tower of Hera.
Yeah, that's the feeling I'm kind of getting right now. We really don't have a lot left. Yeah, that'd be nice, but then that begs the question, where's our glove? And I think either the glove or the Pearl's in here at this point, because if not, it's either Ice Sword Caver or Kina, and I think both of them will eat that. No, I don't think either runner did. Okay, I guess Beer did Lumberjack, and it must be nothing. I don't remember. I don't think Wally went up that far.
Alright, here come the Tower of Hera checks. Picked up a big key.
Yep. Alright, well, you ain't got to be missing that for a little bit.
Nope, that's not helpful until a couple of gloves, at the very least.
Well, I got to get his compass. Nice, but fortunately the real fire has been defeated this seed. So you're footing wall, you're hook shotting, Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, found the hammer. This was part of the sequence that he would have liked to do if only he'd had that first from the Spear 1 location, so go ahead and double back on it. Makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, I mean everything else he kind of has left is like his two really shitty places that everybody used to do in the light world. Escape and Heron. This is a completable dungeon. So. Checkerboard with Pearl is possible. It's probably not going to happen. It would be almost impossible for that to happen. But it is technically possible. We would still be missing 2 more items, and logically we only have 5 spots for those 2 items.
And the pirouette right back into check basement.
Yep. Wally just going straight for Aceman. Fair. I'm sure he'll probably kill Moldorm, but
Yeah, but do the logical check first. Makes sense to me.
yeah. And if this is a glove, you know what, you can always come back to Hera later. This is 80 keys, you're going to be back up and on it again later. Anyway, maybe you have the Hera big key. I mean, Hera won't really get faster, but it might be nice to have the Hera big key before you beat it. We'll see what he decides to do here.
Interesting. Gear setting up the Death Warp. I wonder if he's planning to go snag that 3 hundo before he leaves the area.
Yeah, if you're quick about this Wally, there we go, Wally.
Perfectly acceptable time for a save and quit.
Yeah, okay, Wally's gonna just cash the Moldorm kill now. Oh, he never did Spiral Cave. That's okay.
Ah, Spiral Cave. That would be the one. There we go.
Yeah, so Wally will probably be 20, 30 seconds behind, maybe. Once this is all done. I have to imagine next play is the castle.
Yeah, aside from Castle, what? We have the 2 complete one-off Sphere 1 locations in Ice Rod and Naginus Caves.
We actually don't have any a lot of ad logic chicks can. We have one we can do. One. And that's Zora.
Yeah, we could go to
and
Hobo
the
as
2
well.
logic one. Yeah, I guess you could go to Hobo
Big
as well.
Flipper will get you to both places.
But, okay, good. Our islands are 2 for 3 today. The world items, at least. Does not look like we'll be hurting for medallions today, at least. And again, is nothing. Alright, are you gonna
more
go?
thing to scratch off the list.
Yeah, well, he's gonna go for Gina too, I guess. Okay, we're just gonna last location castle, fine.
I suppose
guess
in hopes that you find the other castle tower small, since you're running so low on locations that you're not counting on getting both a glove and the pearl before you get there, and so
yeah, that's
hedging
true.
your bets on being able to do castle tower in its entirety at one shot.
Yeah, it would surprise me. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me though. Well, it looks like Wally's just gonna walk out the castle. No, he's doing Ice Heart Cave. He's making a liar out of me. Yeah, so... Unfortunately...
Once you get to a certain level of play, all of the runners start thinking the game exactly the same way. Aside from Beer's early dip into Eastern yielding that hammer and thus a little bit of efficiency, they've chosen to do essentially the same things at the same times.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the early level clear is going to be high efficiency stuff, so obviously everybody's going to run CAC. And this is 80 keys, so you're going to be a little bit more...
a little more thorough.
A little more thorough about checking the overworld. You don't feel nearly as bad about it as in other modes. Because so much stuff is locked behind the overworld in this mode. So you're probably going to check everything. It's a mode, this is a mode where like your expected CR is going to be something like in the 180s at least, if not higher. You probably get to skip GT and that's about it. So Wally has opted to go to the back first. This is interesting. There's the moon pearl.
Alright.
Okay, so either we are dealing with a vanilla castle tower key situation, or our glove is in the first 2 checks of Aga Tower. Because everything after that moon pearl is locked by the Hyrule Castle small key, which we don't have. No, Moogle. I think Ken is talking about Dark Cross. Dark Cross is in logic with just the lamp, because you don't need to spend the key to get there. This chest, Boomerang, map chest, and the cell are key locked though. I'm sure Wally's going to go do Dark Cross next, or maybe if he's efficiency-wise, you should do Dark Cross next, because I don't think he reset his door to the left side. No, we have both castle. We have a castle tower small key, Zelda, so it's literally sitting somewhere in Castle Tower. But yes, this is such a fun mode, isn't it? You know what would be better if we had didn't have to worry about automatically doing. Yes, Straussy, I'm actually doing comps. Yes, I actually decided to get finally get beyond the little trackers booth for once. We don't have both CTs, we just have one, but either we're having our first CTs or we have a vanilla second Castle Tower small key, or we've got the glove up there. Unless we have something fun like flippers.
Well, whatever it is, here we go with the hard last location.
Yeah. Not that I blame him. It's Castle Tower, you know. This is something you would ideally not like to be doing at the very end after you beat Aga 2, and there's a glove.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Time to go do the Dark World and go do everything. Again.
It's like starting in the Light World, only now we're starting in the Dark World instead. Well, I guess those early pod keys are not really weighing on Homemade Beer's mind, as he has brought himself down below pod money.
Yeah. That's an interesting choice. I mean, it's nice to just have that blue go, just in case you need it. Bombo's Fire Run might make you think that Ice Palace is coming up soon. I mean, we've also have both Ice Palace Smalls and Ice Palace Big, so what am I saying?
Could be considering a play into Skull Woods here bright and early as well.
True. Oh, he actually, Wally actually does Beer skip the drop down. That's interesting. Oh no.
Well,
of course
that's a thing.
I probably won't do anything. Alright, so, alright, Wally. Where are you gonna go to start your Dark World tour?
Yeah, especially with that Skull Woods big key, I couldn't have imagined anything other than the Flute 3.
Yep, Flute to 3, you
could start at 4 and go in and check Tribe Cave, but we call it Tribe Cave for a reason, don't we?
Yeah.
There's never anything there, except when there is.
Well, we know that the real Hype Cave in the Dark World is Skull Woods. It's mathematically proven to be better, and it's in Key Sanity, so...
Yeah, especially in Key Sanity, where it's not just 2 items, it's 8.
Spike Cave is now open logically. Yes. We have Bottle, we have a Cake, we have Moon Pearl, and we have a Hammer and a Glove. I don't expect either runner to be doing that for a very long time, which means I'll probably do it at the start of the next Dark World tour, but no real good reason to, I think. Yeah, well... Uh-oh.
Alright, well, that key is absolutely valuable.
That's gonna be a bit of a time... That's gonna be a bit of a mess for homemadebeer, I think. Ooh. That also kinda hurts.
Well, on less than Tempered Sword, you're probably performing the moth fight with the hammer since you have it anyway, so...
Yeah...
Not much, necessarily.
That's true. Though, I would say that... I can't tell if Wally mirrored or he got the wall, he let the Wallmaster grab him. But, Skullwood's small, Skullwood's big is going to be one of the last things you're going to come back to. I'd have to imagine.
Yeah, there's just not a strong reason to come back to the area unless, for whatever reason, Mothgilla wins the day on homemadebeer here a couple of times and he decides to leave it for later.
Yeah. Yeah,
And that's an entirely separate way to lose time.
Yeah, and unfortunately we also know that the, that the mirror is what we need to get Samaria. Unless we get some boots and we do some stuff that might be banned by the Racing Council. So in fact, let's not do that. So he's going to be missing Samaria. And that's not going to help either. This is all dungeons. This is all dungeons. This is not FAD keys. There are no castle tower keys kept in their own dungeons. This is straight up all dungeons.
Well, that blue potion showed its worth, but the $20 return is not really going to help all that much.
And the bee is taking down the mouth. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that Beard didn't go through the front of Skullwoods before, even though he had the small key.
He just missed his ride there, and now he has to wait for another one.
No idea where the flippers are, Ken. No, neither one has the bug. We've not been able to take any tablets nor a pedestal. Zelda, god damn it. I see a Phoenix Wright Spring on screen, and I start saying Zelda. This isn't Zelda. He wanted Eastern Palace without the big key. or a bow. WallKicks with the mirror makes sense. Both of them make sense to go check bumper ledge. Wally will be continuing on over to graveyard ledge, while Beer's gonna go take a look at Wall. Yeah, unfortunately, Zelda in the seed, you kind of had to take it on the chin. The hammer was in Eastern, but it's 80 keys. It doesn't really matter too much. Alright, so these count as one of our 2 pendants today.
Which is nice, it just means that the big key could be floating around absolutely anywhere.
Yeah. Please ignore the 0 out of 1 in the top right corner underneath the key counter. There's some bug with the V31.1 where that's showing up like it would show the small keys in chess if you were playing on the door random range. Good visual reminder though. Unfortunately, Lynn, this seed decided that Zelda wasn't playing it, or was hoping it wasn't going to watch it, so it committed a couple sins. Bombos was in here, but in one of the basement cage, not the basement torches, unfortunately. So you were very, very close, Lynn, but unfortunately, we got a red crystal for Pod and a regular crystal for Ice Palace. It looked like. Hi, Star.
Yeah, we have.
Beer does not have the Skullwood's big key. He skipped doing the 3 checks after getting his glove and immediately hopped into Dark World. So he has skipped the Skullwood's big key, which unfortunately is the mirror. It is in the back of the skit. It is in the Sanctuary dropdown, Tyler. This unfortunately means I'm pretty sure that he's going to be last location in mirror.
Which is totally fine. We just have to find absolutely nothing behind it, right? That always happens. You get a mirror and it does absolutely nothing except get you into Swamp Palace.
Yeah, unfortunately, we also know that it gets us Arcana somewhere. Yeah.
Yep.
Star, I can't see if you guys rated us, but thank you, because I know you were copying the Z2R race. I hope that went pretty well. Oh, good. Well, that exists.
We're 2 for 2 on maps behind that mirror so far.
No, that was a pretty good hype cave VXR. That's literally a clearable dungeon in that hype cave. That's not a bad IP. But yeah. Actually, I should say 3. There was their second Castle Tower small key as well. So, this is actually really good for Wally, because Wally's going to just go right and beat Desert Palace right after going into the side cave and check Bavo Stable out of the way. Oh, I'm glad the Z2RC doing well. I know that was a 5-gemmer, but also I know you guys had like 8 starting hearts and 1,000 like P bags, so Ped? I don't know. There's nothing really that could be on Ped that I'd really care about. This is ADs, you're getting all your pendants anyway. So, GT key or something is fine.
Just a little bit of logic there on Bombo's tablet. That's Skullwood's small key.
Yeah. Nice pushing camera unlocked by beer. I had just a heart on Torch and Desert, so not gonna lose any sleep over that. And there's our Samaria. And the first of our tier smalls that we realistically only need 3 of, but we might need a 4th.
Yeah, hopefully 3.
I'm hoping for vanilla TR big key. All he's getting is Quake. I am disappointed. My best guess skill Nimish is that he wants scum keys.
Seems unlikely that he's going to get to Scum Keys just because of all the things that are back here. But certainly you would think at least one of them would be out, but maybe one doesn't.
I mean, so far I think the only thing we found is the red boomerang. Oh no. Well, that's been foiled.
And now Beer is going to check the back of Escape and feel shame.
Yeah. Look, that mushroom needs 4 more blood smells of somewhere there to exist, we promise. I wouldn't check it, but unfortunately, I don't think you can scum that away.
Alright, Beer, what's the play as Wally with those flippers and all of the other swamp accoutrements is heading right into Swamp Palace, which is a surprise level 0 play.
Yeah. He's gonna take the book and the Dispel's Mickey. Run with it. And the rich get
Mitts in
richer.
Swamp Palace. Why is that there? Next thing you know, you're going to be telling me there's a sword here, too.
Yeah. Wally hasn't checked the items yet, I don't think. But I have to imagine he's just going to go blind check it.
You can just blind check it. You've got
blind check it and
everything
then
you need to
swim
do.
over. Yeah, and then immediately go to Ice Palace.
Which
The
we
only
have all the
problem-
keys for.
yeah,
Hilarious,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the only thing that would make it a slam dunk room to Ice Palace is to get, sequencing.
Beer did not check the mushroom when getting the potion.
I believe that is actually correct. Yeah, that's correct. He walked in and bought it. Yeah.
May just be thinking it's so far down the chain that it's not going to have anything. And if he's wrong, well, it's a reasonably quick flute to 2 later.
Yeah, and here's a quick diver down. ED keys, you should be doing left side swamp. Unless this is like your last dungeon. I forgot you can hookshot that pillar.
Yeah, it's a convenient hookshot. Usually you don't have to think about it because either you're playing the vanilla game and you have boots, or you don't have the hookshot, or any number of other reasons. Yet another pod small for Wally there.
Realistically, from an item perspective, yes, we are probably just bow and ice rod from go mode. We are also missing a metric ton of keys. We need a Feast on Big Key, 2 or 3 more Turtle Rock small keys.
Eastern Palace big, GT big.
Yeah. We know where the cane is. Oh, good. Look! Look, everybody. All your pod keys are just at Swamp Palace. Yep. About Zora for waterfall for beer. Feels like chasing the flippers.
Yeah, it's entirely reasonable. As we had kind of postulated earlier, and there's one of those TR small keys coming out. Once you've done Skull Woods and you get the big key later, you're not in any hurry whatsoever to return.
Yeah, especially when you know it's just like... Especially when it's like the sync drop down just after getting... Ooh, temperate sword. Hello? That could be something WallKicks misses, but... we'll see. He might do it anyway. He might do it anyway after Island, because you can quickly just fleet back down there. What are the chances that the GT Big Key could be vanilla in this mode?
1 in 212 less however many checks we've already done.
Probably 0.5%-ish. Probably actually a little bit less than 0.5%. I don't know exactly how the randomizer decides to place the big keys, but the big keys are the very first thing in the game that gets placed. Oh. Alright, well. Yeah, this works for beer. He hasn't done pyramid, he hasn't done catfish.
Meanwhile, WallKicks just happily stacking another dungeon on the board. That's 4 of them.
Yeah. I mean, beer's not exactly ignoring them either. He's at 3, but it's nice to get Swamp out of the way. Wally being surprised that the pleasantly surprised with the Cane of Samari being there. Will miss the temperate
location for that right before Ice Palace.
Yeah. Will, however, be missing a temperate. Not necessary, but it is nice for Cold Stare. What can be in GT? The only thing... This is a 7 Crystals Luck GT mode, so the only thing that could actually be in GT for a dungeon would be Castle Tower, Smalls, or anything required to clear a pendant dungeon that isn't somehow required. We already know 2 of our pendants, one of which we can already beat, so potentially the Feast Town Big Key is in there, but we don't know anything else. It's going to depend on the remaining items. No, this is 80 keys as in the letter A and the letter D for all dungeons. Though, theoretically, there are like 80 keys in this game, so... Probably a lot less.
I think I took a count at some point and it came out in the mid-40s. As a rough recollection of something that I did months and months ago.
Wally being smart. He has 2 small keys. Go do ice tea before driving down to do the big chest loop. Oh boy. If you're a homemade beer fan, you didn't want to see that there. Let's cobble some ledge. Alright, Beer, I think you just got Spike Cave and Zora left.
The options are few and far between.
Yeah.
As Wally pulls down the Crystal and Ice Palace. 4 crystals and a pendant to his name.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that bow is going to be a big issue for Beer, because Wally's just going to single to pod now. He's got 4 smalls. He'll probably leave behind the big key chest, but that's what he's doing next. He's going to miss the sword. That's going to be a really game. So there's a good chance Wally doesn't find both of his is on a Master Sword for the rest of the seed with the way that things are going, unfortunately. But silvers are still out there. Hello, Dante. I'm hoping your stream went well. I don't know why Wally's mirroring here.
Because he got the Desert Palace small key in something that he was doing, and he's going to go pick it up while he's in the area.
Yeah. Dante. Dainty. I'll say it bright one of these days. Welcome. This is a All Dungeons Key Sanity race in the Survivors of Hyrule. This is the first round / quarterfinals. God damn. Yeah, Dante. There we go. So this is a game 3 between these two teams. I'm pretty sure Dante knows this. Whatever, Dante knows this. As he is a member of one of the two teams in question, along with my co-columns, me and Dion. Right now, we are racing homemade beer and WallKicks. Right now, the big issue in this race has been that Homemade beer skipped doing the back of the sanctuary drop down after getting his glove from the second chest of Aga Tower in a hard last location. This had the Skullwood's Big Key, which had the mirror, which has unfortunately kind of spiraled into mitts. Hey, that's an out, technically.
Potentially.
Which has unfortunately led to kind of spiraled into mitts, Bow, Samaria, couple small keys that beer doesn't have. So, yeah, it's been kind of unfortunate. This is actually kind of one of the more just do your progression seats I've ever seen. And okay, that's not nothing. Unfortunately, that's the very first thing you're going to check right after you check all the basement. Potentially, if you don't do it beforehand. Yeah, so, Beer finally doing the Walk of Shame. Yeah. So, as it stands right now, unfortunately, like, it's looking like Beer's major out is if anything is on that, Swamp Big Key, but he's going to be doing a lot of, doubling back while he's going to be dying in a single trip, so this is going to be, interesting.
And unfortunately, there are not a lot of things left that can be.
Yeah. Eastern Palace is a crystal. And Beer is mad, probably. So the way that this tournament works, Ken, is there are 2 4-person teams playing each other in elimination games. So every time somebody loses, they're taken out of the team rotation, and the first team to essentially knock out the other team wins. So it's essentially best of 7. This is game 3. Each team has won so far, so there will be at least a game 5 in the future. But who will play the game 5 has to wait until the first 4 games are finished. I would have to defer. I do not know the exact rules for ties. Well then.
Just in case you thought that was an out, it's not. It's just on the way. Right on the critical path on a boss you're killing anyway.
Yeah. So at this point, Ice Rod, a TR small, we're in a Thieves Town bigger, what we need for Go Mode. Ollie.
It was more of an AFG bomb toss than anything, but I'm pretty sure we're watching WallKicks.
Yeah. Right now, we can beat everything but Thieves Town and Turtle Rock. It's very likely that Turtle Rock is our last man. Yes, the Ice Ride can be a GT. We won't know direct confirmation of that. I don't think either. Actually, Beer does have the a Turtle Rock map. WallKicks has been ignoring maps ever since he kind of picked up the critical information of Green Pendant. No, I would say probably for homemade beer, you probably will hope that if TR is in fact the last pendant, that the Ice Rod isn't NGT. WallKicks probably won't be finding the GT Vicky until after he does the basement at the rate of progression that we're going right now. So he will be able to make some time up if WallKicks is going to have to do a proactive GT Big Key search. Hello, ZeldaSpeedRuns 3 and baseball. I'm not sure what you guys were streaming. I think it was probably, was it NG League? I hope that went well. We're seeing some not allowed glitches in some dungeons right now, so this clearly isn't an MG. This is the third game of the Link to the Past Randomizer Survivors of Hyrule Tournament Quarterfinals. We say it like that because it's a little fancier than saying that there's only 8 teams, so technically the very first round is the quarterfinals. So while going to the back, he's going to be able to clear it a little bit more than Beer. The very last game of this matchup, which will be between Skelly and Dante, will be a mode that everybody is sure to love, and by everybody I mean nobody. It's swordless. No, well, the camera really can't be in GT in any of the modes that are in this tournament, other than entrance randomizer like cross keys or retrans. There are too many dungeons that require hammer usage in order for that to happen otherwise. Well, Beer is beating Argus and is heading for Lake Allt. I assume Wally's heading out to Meyer next. Wally, that's Ether.
Yeah, just making sure the coin works before you get to the dungeon you need it to open. May also be setting that up to empty green bottle and refill it with blue, potentially, I guess.
I didn't think he had a green bottle. I thought he just had a bee.
There was... Yeah, maybe he didn't get that at the green bottle. Maybe that was one of those strange one-off checks that Beer had to do while he was last locating his mirror.
Yeah. Oh, that's where the desert spawn was, Pingator. Okay.
Yeah. I couldn't remember if it was late in Swamp or early in Ice, and early in Ice was the answer.
Yeah.
One of many reasons that I'm bad at keys modes, I just don't remember these things.
Somehow in my head I thought it was in Meyer shit, just because Meyer shit does those type of things. But I'm alright. Beer is running several minutes behind at the very least. It's going to be kind of hard to see exactly what he skips. Unfortunately, everything he's kind of going to have to do is kind of going to be on a straight line. And if he even deviates it from a minute and maybe misses the bow, or I don't think he'll miss the bow, but yeah, he's still going to have to go do Eastern Pals. He's still going to have to go back and finish off Pod.
He's going to have to get the Eastern Palace big key.
True. Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sorry, Zaf. Yeah, I guess that isn't on here. No, you can hold me responsible to putting emotes on your channel. But not that. Well, I was given cutscene chest. Theoretically, he can get into GT, so I don't exactly blame him here. It's just going to stink if there's anything else in the rest of Meyer.
Yeah, sometimes you're just ready to play for GT mode, though. It's by far the most density that you have left.
Yeah, so he is missing 4 things for go at the moment. So this is... It does feel kind of aggressive. I wonder if he checks Dark Death Mountain before going into GT at the very least. At this point, it's very likely that boots aren't required. Would I like boots? Yes. Do I expect boots? No. Our Desert Torch was just a heart piece. I think there was a piece of heart on library. Beer check, Lumberjack, and it was nothing. And so that only kind of like leaves Bonk Rocks and King Suman the GT Torch for items, and it's probably not going to happen. Ooh. No. No kid. Nobody's shaking the pad without having the 2-7 big key.
WallKicks having a bit of a vitreous adventure there, but does seem to have the fight under control at long last.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he only had 4 arrows after doing Armos. Yep. Okay. Turtle Rock is our last pendant.
And at the exact same moment, Beer decides to go ahead and map check and find that out for himself.
Yep. Yeah, Pedestal is essentially dead at this point. The only thing that could actually be on there is the hair, a Skull Smoky or the Hair Big Key. And we're not going to care about those. Here's Beer's Eastern House Big Key. Wally will at least do Super Money Cave.
If you're going to be walking right through it anyway, you may as well.
Yeah, so I probably do Hookshot Cave into basement. I don't think he's gonna go. I don't think you want to go into tier. As tempting as that could be. Yeah, I could see that, Zelda. Well, there's our first piece of the logical puzzle that is these now. And yeah, I do really agree with that. I do think Wally has an advantage right now. I'm sure Beer is happy to have a mirror shield. But like this could easily go sideways very quickly for Wally. 3 TR smalls.
Only one GT small key after all this time. You have to think that some of them are probably just hiding in here.
Yeah, well, that's very good news for Wally because he ain't getting. There's a very good chance he's not going above Master Sword today. Honestly, that is a good point. We only do have one GT small key. We do logically need 4 of them to beat the seed, and you need at least 3 of them to get most of this basement into logic. So this could mean that GT is actually fairly late in the... but no, we'll know that. We'll probably have that answer in a little while, unfortunately.
And it could be that a couple of those keys are just floating around in Turtle Rock, and logically the game wanted you to go in there first before coming in here to collect your Vice Rod or whatever else and then go back.
Yeah. That is a vanilla... Ooh, well that's interesting. Okay, so that's a vanilla... AD key on the torch, you can tell by the different colorations. So, boots are required to beat GT. With only one key, though, that means they could go anywhere up as far as. God damn it, game. And mail too. Okay. Well, we can see boots anywhere.
Randomizer.
Yeah, we can see boots anywhere up to pre-Moldorm 2 chest. Or behind ice almost. We can't see them in the map chest in the random room from what we've got left on checks. So Wally did not do, opted for a harmless way over big key chest. Oh boy,
Oh
there
my.
it is.
And suddenly, the tables may have turned.
Yeah, that's not good for Wally. He's going to need another pod small key, and he's going to have to go back to pod. The good news is he might have enough time to full clear the game with the amount of time that Beer lost by not having the mirror.
By not having the mirror, yep.
Because that's going to be one of his last locations. Homie Beer just got the ice rod out of the pod big key chest. The way that he routed it, he skipped a check. You only had 4 keys, so you have to kind of work from the check. And Wally decided to do the check in the back because it's the furthest one from start. Beer, on the other hand, probably played counter to what he thought Wally would do and checked the boss key chest first. And that had the ice rod. Yeah, the unfortunate thing though is that really Wally's going to have cleared out all of really, right now, Beer just kind of needs to get his hands on a Turtle Rock Big Key for Gomo. He doesn't know that quite yet because Ether's on Armos, but Ether's on Armos. But I'm trying to think exactly. We don't actually even have a lot of places for our pot smalls to be.
Yeah, as a Crystal Dungeon, we have to be able to put it in logic, so it seems likely at this point that Turtle Rock is holding on to the things we're looking for.
Yeah. Probably going to be a logical double dip
in there, and then the Thieves Town has a pod small hanging out. Could be.
Yeah. So Survivors Hyrule is the kind of the theme of this tournament will be.
Okay, game.
I want to cry. I want to cry. So the kind of the idea behind Survivors of Hyrule is that it is a survival series matchup between 2 4-person teams. Yeah, yeah, we knew that was there. So it's kind of a survival style matchup between 2 4-person teams. At the end of each game, the runner who loses gets knocked out. So, yeah, unfortunately, this isn't going to work out too well for Wally. Beer getting kind of forced to dig the dregs of the seeds is going to be working out in his favor.
Oh, as Beer wanders around here in Misery Mire, that is something to bear in mind. WallKicks decided to kind of rush the boss here and left a whole slew of checks behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thieves Town Big Key could just be in here.
Yeah. But you can do everything in TR except for Trinex and Lava Chest. There might be some pod smalls in here, and that'll probably drive Wally back into pod. Unfortunately, the problem right now for Wally is that Spike Cave is in a really awkward spot for him. Because he will be checking... He will go down through Mimic Cave, at least, and that means the dungeon position will reset, and he can't just go back up to Spike Cave without save quitting and reclimbing the mountain. I do kind of expect Beer to be... Beer will be doing a lot of the same thing here. So... but, you know, reclimbing this dungeon is going to be like that.
That is a big key to Thieves Town in Misery Mire.
And, yeah. Well... That's, unfortunate for Wally. Yeah, that's pretty much going to be GG's. Unfortunately. Yeah, it was a really aggressive skip in Miger. I can understand cutscene chest. Beer is in go mode, he doesn't care. He'll miss the silvers in Hope Room, but he has Buttered Sword. It really won't matter too much for him. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember exactly what he's in. That is correct. Yes, he does need a third TR small with check 8. Yeah, Moogle kind of has. Unfortunately, a lot of this is on the way, but the few things that weren't are going to really be the things that are going to bite Wally. Ignoring the Thieves Town Big Key skip.
Feels like a better place for red mail to be than where it is in the vanilla game.
Well, I mean, it's both defensive upgrades in there. Yeah, GFE. Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, he had enough time to get around missing one of these things. Missing all three of them, unfortunately, is gonna kind of wreck him. No, Drosy. Beer needs a Turtle Rock small key. Wally needs an Ice Rod, the Ganon Tower big key, and the Thieves Town big key. The Ice Rod and the Thieves Town big key were both in chests that he orphaned in dungeons. The GT big key is in Spike Chest, which unfortunately is not in a very good spot for him to check right now. And there's our last pot small. So, this being Six. The ice rod, of course, being 6-pod small key lock means that the game expected you to go down to Laser Bridge to get your ice rod to come back and beat Tronix. Thanks, game.
Ah, logic. Such a wonderful, cruel invention we've foisted upon ourselves.
I'm not sure if this is logic or just a hobby Bob being a sadist.
Wally's going to go ahead and do the bonk checks here, which makes a lot of sense, but we know that nothing's behind him that he's actually going to need.
Oh, they're going to be TR small, but that's, yeah. Yeah, beer won't get silvers or boots, which is a consolation, yes.
Yeah, I can practically read the race room post-race right now. Beer's going to say, so how about that entire AD key seed without boots? And Wally's going to say, I had boots.
Of course, Wally's not going to get 2 more swords. And hate himself for it because he couldn't. He
may,
knows he could have had that
get a sword right now.
Oh, he's heading for both his swords. And he's going to hate it because he could have gotten this before Cold Stare. Yeah, because right down.
Blind buns look totally new with the lowercase letters. I hate it.
Oh God! Don't. We promise not to talk about the letters.
I know, but then I noticed it again, and I hated it all over again.
Look, V31 introduced fun features like lowercase letter 1.1 that introduced fun features like lowercase letters and a broken keys in dungeons function for some reason.
And
showing up not in door written mod.
Yeah, all sorts of wonderful things we've been given. But Beer does have Thieves Town down. Still going to need that TR small, but it's close to on the way.
Yeah. I can't imagine he doesn't do Hookshot Cave before GT, but I guess that there is a chance. Alright, here's Thieves Town. Swamp House, Big Chest. Nope, sorry, while he's doing
Pyramid Fairy.
Pyramid Fairy. Yeah, he hasn't done Check Pyramid Ledge either, so this makes sense. Probably does Aga Tower too while he's at it. Thing is, Spirit did not want to see before finding a TR big key, a TR small key.
Yeah, you can just read his mind there. Why isn't it the other T dungeon?
Okay, he's going to be a go in just a second. Oh no. Oh, that's wonderful.
It at least gets him back up towards Spike Cave, where something that he does need exists.
Yeah, that is true, but I do like the very first crystal that we beat today was at least our third. No idea what the other 5-6 crystal. I guess it was Meyer. So that would have at least been the 4th or 5th crystal you're expected to beat today in the playthrough. And also first, because of Harapod.
Yep, Diver down, nice time save. Icebreaker, really nice time save. Harapod, incompletable dungeon becomes completable dungeon.
Well, I mean, so does Ice Palace, but we also have the Ice Palace Long Jump for that. The Thief's on Big Key, so Rich, the Thief's on Big Key is in Misery Mire. The Ice Rod is in Pod Big Key Chest. WallKicks opted to kind of rush Vitreous, being potentially one crystal from GT to go into GT, and missed the Thief's on Big Key. The Ice Rod was, unfortunately, he only had 4 keys, so he could not hold their pod. The other 2 pod smalls that he picked up later were both on Laser Bridge, which is fun for logical implications of the seed. And by fun, I mean just absolutely terrible for the runners, but...
The Bee Bunny sprite is so cursed, I have no idea what that's even supposed to
unfortunately, I unfortunately missed it. Hi, Skelly. Yes, you are. Yeah, unfortunately, Beer, the basic story of this match is that Beer missed the mirror, but in turn picked up some stuff that was a bit on the way that WallKicks, some of which he orphaned, some of which just he had so much on in a line after the mirror that he was just been following that. Ice Rod is in Pod Big Key Chest. While he had 4 keys, he did LA. The Thief's on Big Key is here in Meyer. Wally was 1 crystal from GT, so he kind of rushed Vitreous and only did a couple of his checks. He skipped, I believe it was the Spike Chest. Okay, sorry, it was Matt.
Yeah, it was terrible chest.
Yeah. And the GT Big Key, of course, is in Spike Cave. And Wally, after full clearing GT basement, opted to go into Turtle Rock instead of going into Spike Cave. This is probably going to be Smith Chain for Wally, I guess.
Well, he picked up his Thieves Town big key. He'll probably do Thieves Town.
Oh, that is true, yeah. I fucking hate this game. Oh wait, there was nothing on my left side anyway.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything in Firelocked Northern, and the Vanilla Big Key location was 3 hundo, so...
Yeah.
Why isn't Beer hook dashing out of Turtle Rock? Oh, wait. Because this game has jokes.
Yes. And just for your reference, Kelly, boots are in Tile Room. Silvers are in Hope Room, but obviously Beer's not going to pick up either of them.
I don't know. He's a memer. He might.
Oh, he doesn't even have a GT small key.
Yeah, he had to come somewhere in here. That's one of the reasons why I thought maybe he goes to Hope Room, but no, he's just...
Oh yeah, that's right. Our only GT small key was K45, and he never checked. He skipped. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was Bombo's Temple. He skipped a bunch of the mirror checks, which also bought him some time. Yeah, there are in fact 2 GT small keys at least in GT Skelly. Pretty sure half magic goes down there too. But Beer's got him. Yeah, Beer's got a mirror shield. He's all set on the world.
Maybe more importantly, he has a lamp.
Yep. Well, the game decided to just throw that at racing at us today, so it wasn't exactly something we'd miss. Considering that this is 80 keys, the lamp actually does matter a bit more than it does in other modes, because probably getting it is probably just worth the time saving Dark Daga alone. Unless it's in a really, really terrible location. Smith's Wally. I'd have to imagine that he probably answers in checking Swamp House Big Chest. He probably won't be making it to his ice run, unfortunately. Oh, you're right, it was Pyramid Fairy, yeah, he's... Oh, it's definitely never getting it. Not that I don't think the Bear cares.
Yeah, he's the kind of person who'd at least remember where I think he found it was. He knows I'm a little fish brain.
Ah, okay. Well, there's our other big key, small key. And the shell. Why not? Had to be somewhere. Oh, Beer, if only you went down to the right door, you could have had your silvers. Yeah, this is what, so while he's gonna at least get his ice rod.
Video game, you're adorable. That was a TR-SK4 in Ultimate Chest.
Which means our entire Meyer left side, by the way, is logically locked by boots. You know, while he's slowly making his way up, unfortunately, you'll still have to do ALttPR. He still has to find the GT pig, do the climb, and beat beat Agatar.
And Aga 1, yeah.
So, he's sitting at least 5-6 minutes behind. If he goes right into Spike Grade. Which he isn't, he's going to go check Bear first. Probably, yeah.
Feel like that menu by Beer to check the bottle and make sure that he actually had the green potion that he thought he had.
He's been buying potions all seed. He's been buying potions all seed, so maybe he wanted to make sure it was green and not blue. So is Wally gonna do Spike Cave, or is he gonna dash over to TR? Dash to TR. Yeah, that's weird. Wally will probably forfeit. I wouldn't say it's a rage weapon. Please, our runners really do put on a hard work for this, and just because something doesn't go their way doesn't mean that they're rage quitting.
That is 12 spins into the pig. All Beer has to do is wait out a 15-second fanfare, and then he can cross over the bridge and be done with this madness.
Yep. And
you can see how badly he wanted to play Randomizer, because now he may still have the opportunity to do so, being alive in this tournament.
Yep. And that's a race time.gg final time of 1:48.13 seconds. Really good for how bad the seed kind of started for him. The middle of the seed kind of went for him. Yeah, unfortunately, Wally is actually doing comms for his on his stream today, so we do not have clean audio from him.
The TR small key can't be on the boss.
We're trying to get Beer in for an interview.
Just think, I was in Ganon Tower a half hour ago. Sure, we'll just assume that's all of those keys. Desert can't have a small key on the boss.
Going to hook dash back over here. This looks like we'll finally get the Spike Cave play from Wally, which will give him the last thing that he's really looking for.
Yeah. All in all, he's still probably a good 6 or 7 minutes out, fortunately.
Yeah, 3 minutes and change for a climb. Give it another minute-ish to fight the wizard. Then you have to climb the other tower, so call that another 4. Yeah, I'd say it's probably 8 to 10-ish.
Yeah. 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 Well, fortunately, we're still waiting for Beer.
Yeah, I mean, we can do live play-by-play of the climb. It's a Buttersword Silver's Red Mail half magic climb here with a perfectly nice cape in tow, you just don't expect that anything's going to go wrong. And,
Yeah.
well, the outcome has already been decided.
Yeah.
Maybe a little unfortunately, it could have been closer. A number of things went wrong in both directions, but at the end of the day,
It's what you
the
last location last, and not what you last
pretty,
location first.
pretty much, and skipping the mirror, and then it kind of looks like Beer decided that overworld mirror checks were just not going to be a viable source of things for him, and so he just started going where the progression was, and
Well,
worked
I
out for him.
mean, yeah. Welcome, homemade beer. So, any thoughts?
Hello. Yeah.
Hello.
Jeez.
There he is, GG.
GG's.
Man, I made a huge mistake by dodging escape, I think. Then I had to try and make up for it, so I just said no to anything that was mirror related except for the dungeons.
And of course, that kind of put you pretty much on a straight line towards beating everything. Kind of the only thing that you missed in the mirror checks, I think, was a GT small key and key 45, which would have been helpful. So maybe you could have.
That actually explains one of the bigger decisions that I can guess was a point of contention. Was when I got Ether, I was going to clear Meyer and then just go straight to I was going to clear Meyer. I was going to beat Meyer and then go straight to GT and just find all the rest of the crap I needed. But then I looked at my count and I was like, I have 0 GT small keys. I actually just need to clear Meyer. I need to do everything in here. And
yeah. So kind of obviously WallKicks was earlier to the mirror. Did it was a major sticking point for a while. But kind of what ended up happening was like he got the swamp, and then he's kind of on that straight line. He hadn't checked floating Lake Island, so I'm sure he was pleasantly surprised when he got Samaria there before going to Ice Palace.
On the way to Ice, yeah.
Yeah, so he kind of was pushing dungeons, and then when he hit Meyer, like he was one crystal from go, and he kind of did the same thing. He kind of decided to rush Vitreous, and he missed the Thief on Big Key there. Unfortunately, also for him, obviously it was pretty easy to miss the GT Big Key with it in Spike Cave and everything considered. But when he got to pod, because he did pod later than you did, he had 4. So he did
so
what the meta was, and he did Hammer's Hellway.
Yeah, I mean, I would have too if I had 4 keys.
Yeah,
to be honest,
so obviously he missed the Ice Rod, and so basically, he has been running around. He was running around 20-25 minutes looking for those 3 things, which he managed to pick up kind of on the way, and then kind of hit go mode when he went into Hogshot Cave for that last heroic small.
Yeah, and it looks like I dodged like the boots and half magic and all the fun things in the game.
Well, let's see. Silvers were in Hope Room. Boots were in Tile Room.
Oh, boots were in. Okay, that was I thought I thought boots were going to be in GT because I saw the GT small key on the torch and was like, well, I'm that's kind of sad.
Yeah. And the hair biggie and half magic were in Pyramid Fairy. So, yeah, just start having fun with that logic.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to look at. Because I never found, I guess logically, right? Pod 6. Actually, wait, yeah. The only small I never found was Hyrule Castle and the 4 GT smalls, and then Pod 6.
Pod 6 was down to Laser Bridge, which, of course, logically, logically that means the game expected you to go all the way down to Laser Bridge before you could get your Ice Rod.
Yeah.
And then go back. So.
And then climb GT to get TR4 on Validation Chest or whatever.
Yeah.
That was a place.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this was
it was a lot of luck in the middle game. Like, it was probably one of the weirdest end games I've had looking at when you're in GT mode, you know, 80 keys items, and I'm looking at, okay, what do I need? I need Thieves Big, I need a TR small. Okay, that shouldn't be bad. And then, you know, getting your last crystal, I mean, like I have zero GT smalls. This is really strange. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Yeah. No idea where the fourth one is. There's another one in Stalfos room, in Dark Magician room, however you want to call that room. So,
Oh, so a bunch were just in GT.
or at least two in GT. Yeah. We never. You checked upstairs, so there were only two in GT. So there's a fourth one sitting out there somewhere.
Yeah, because I guess I never did GT Big Chest. If that maybe could have been one.
Could have been GT Big Chest. It could have been Meyer Cutscene Chest. Actually, it couldn't be Meyer Cutscene Chest. I think it may have had to have been possibly GT Big Chest
Or the shovel.
or the shovel. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm guess so. He probably did Thieves Big Chest as well, because he probably didn't go to Thieves until he had the small. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, he had full cleared the entire Death Mountain before he found the Thieves Sound Big Key, so he had the small key before he went there.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's mainly just because I completely derped and I was like, oh cool, a glove, I'm going to the Dark World, and then I was like, oh crap, I forgot Back of Escape, and when I got Skullwood's Big Key there, I was like, yeah, that's just never gonna happen. And then, well, no, I was wrong.
Yeah, we were kind of saying it's just like, you know, you just did all of Skullwoods, and it's like you're gonna last location that mirror, and that's Samaria, and you know, well,
I think the only thing I never did was just Eastern Big Key Chest, because I made my choice to go into Eastern kind of early, and then I was like, well, I'm just not going back for it. And then when I got to the end game, I'm like, I'm gonna just continue not doing this at this point. I decided this checks, because it takes whatever, like a minute to do without boots. It's really slow check.
Yeah.
And you know, like as it happens, it was just I got lucky to find everything else at that point.
Yeah, everything was just really on the way. Wally actually looked for a while that he was going to actually dodge both sword. He was going to be finishing on Master Sword.
Oh, the hobo and waterfall.
Yeah, never really had a reason to go there until he started having to dig. It's a shame. He could have picked up either one of them before doing Cold Stare, but.
Oh yeah.
But
I always joke that if you last locate, make sure you last locate the correct thing. And in this case, GT Big Key was not the correct thing to last locate. The mirror wasn't terrible. It seems.
Yeah, there were.
The mirror locking out the mitts, especially, it cuts so many possible checks out of the complete loop that you're going to get forced back into it relatively quickly, compared to something like Big Key for GT and Spike Cave, if you don't just happen to do Spike Cave at some point. When do you get there? Eventually is the answer. You get there eventually.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because like Wally didn't have the ice rod, like when he did GT, obviously when he couldn't find anything in GT, he went and dove TR instead, and had to go all the way through TR, which meant he couldn't get back to Spike Cave. But...
Yeah. Was there anything else in TR? Because I felt like TR was going to have something, but then when I just found the pod, I was kind of going to make a joke and see if there was something funny in that chest to make it like a rivalry chest between our teams. But then it was just a pod small, which apparently actually mattered in all things considered.
Yeah. I think it was just pod smalls, and GG to Wally's, who finished 2-2-50. Don't think Wally's coming in for an interview, unfortunately. Unfortunately, just kind of broke the wrong way for him towards the end.
Yeah, Rando gets frustrating when you start last locating and then keep last locating and then keep Yep.
That is, as they say, the story of Rando.
So I don't. Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
I was going to say I really don't have too much more, so I was going to ask you to, if you had any other thoughts. Or...
I think my only major question kind of was how close were we entering getting Dark World access? That was the number one thing that I felt like the seed really opened up at that point, and then the routes. Then there was a lot of potential for routing because you get forced into Aga Tower, but you don't.
So you were so early on. You were very much close. Wally was lagging a little bit. He opted to go do CAC before Eastern, so he didn't have the hammer. When he went up to the mountain the first time to do Paradox Cave and everything, so
right. But
so
he
he
didn't
kind
need
of
Hera, right? Hera was like pretty empty besides Meyer Big, if I remember.
and had
I was
Bombos
kinda
too.
bummed about. Oh, it did, okay.
Bombos too, which you did actually need for TR. So, two required items in Hera. No Bombos, and Bombos, of course, was in the basement cage and not the. Lynn was mad about there not being Firelocked Fire in this seed.
Yeah, they were all just kind of available.
Yeah. So, yeah, you were about the same, except Wally kind of did that one trip over to East Death Mountain to check Paradox and Spiral with the hook shot before finding the hammer, so he had to reclimb to get back into Hera, and then you guys were kind of just like pretty much following each other from there on out. You both did Agina, you both did Ice Heart Cave, and you both did the castle, and then Wally did the cells first before Dark Cross, but you both did it before going up into Aga Tower.
Okay, so that basically was the last location.
Yeah, you both basically last location to club, but with where that glove was, I was like, that was going to happen. That's.
I was kind of hoping for the Castle Tower to be like vanilla. Like, yeah, let's go Aga, baby. And then it was still pretty free. I'm like, okay, well, that counts.
Yeah, somebody in chat may have been hoping for a castle for a Moon Pearl and Checkerboard Cave, and we had to remind them that there were only like two or three spots, two or three logical checks left, and you guys still needed 3 items for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was kind of hoping for that Castle Tower too, but then it just ended up in Hype Cave, so we were all sad.
Yeah.
Nice Hype Cave.
Yeah. Thanks for comms and tracking and putting this on. I'm excited to watch this back actually, and GG's to WallKicks here.
Yeah.
I think we do have a small update with our team stuff though, that the modes as they're getting rolled. Our next race will be an Randomizer seed with players yet to be determined.
Yeah, I was gonna say
after Skelly and Dante face off.
Yeah, Skelly and Dante are facing off. I think it's Monday. Sometime
Monday.
So Skelly and Dante will be Dante, whatever. I cannot say that name. There's too many A's.
And every time you mispronounce it, you add another one.
Yeah, I do. So Skelly and Dante are going to be facing off on Monday, I think around 5:30 Eastern Daylight Savings Time. If you're watching this in Europe, I don't know what our time difference is right now because we did it and you guys didn't. So it will be swordless. This is going to be that'll be game 4. You guys are up now 2-1. That'll be fun. And then somebody gets to play Randomizer. It sounds like. Hopefully it's just not going to be Zelda, but I'm sorry, Skelly.
Yeah, we'll see.
So that's about it. Thank you, team. Beer cheese, double dodge, dive, horse, and dodge. Which I'm gonna try to get it down one of these days.
It's a mouthful, no doubt.
Yeah, otherwise I just call you Team Hates Kroskis, but That's it.
No, I'm pretty sure we have 3 players on this team who really love cross keys, so we just decided to strike a mode in self-defense.
That's fair. That's fair. So, I think that's about it. I think VXR was our restreamer today. Oh yeah, thank you. Follow our runners, WallKicks, and Homemade Beer. Do not follow me. I do not stream. Please follow me in DM, who had a very, very good race yesterday that you should all go watch. And thank you to Mad Monk Adam, who was pushing the buttons for us on the tracking. It was his first time tracking Link to the Past. He's usually on the Ocarina Time things, and it's great to get some fresh blood in here for volunteers. So thank y'all.
Yeah, and we actually were, we were rated by NMG. We're gonna go raid NMG. So, yeah. Let's see. What do we have tomorrow? I know the finals of the Pilot Spoiler Tournament starting at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. We also have another NMG match at 8 p.m. Eastern and a Z-Tour Max Rando race at 9 p.m. Eastern. Next, Survivors of Hyrule matches are on Friday. We'll see which ones get restreamed depending on volunteer availability. But until then, catch you later.